Hello, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel again. And check her out. Miss Earth Denmark 2023, Silvia Topholm.
Yes, hello everyone.
Oh my gosh, you know what? She's one of the biggest revelations of this year's pageant. You know, prior to coming here, we've been reading your resume, and you have such an incredible profile for the pageant.
Oh,
But for
thank
the benefit
you.
of my viewers who may not yet know you, can you give a little introduction about yourself?
I sure can. So, my name is Silvia. I am Miss Earth Denmark 2023. I am 22 years old, and on the daily, I am a medical student at the University of Copenhagen. So, I'm in my third year, which means I am halfway there. In my free time, I work at a skin clinic treating patients with skin cancer and that sort of skin diseases. And in my free time, I'm also a huge environmentalist. My advocacy is science. You know, I love science. I'm a woman of science. And I really believe that Miss Earth is one of the pageants that actually make a difference in the world.
How do you balance your time between your work in medicine and your work as an environmentalist?
Well, I think that they kind of go hand in hand, right? So, being in medicine, I also do a lot of research work and this sort of thing. And I really think that research and, scientific startups are going to be the key to fixing our climate problem, our climate crisis. And what I mean by that is instead of, trying to reduce how much we're driving cars, reduce how much we turn on lights, our energy consumption, this sort of thing, it's really hard to make people change the way they live. Instead, we should find a way that people don't have to compromise their quality of life, but just, bring green energy solutions to the market, make meat production more sustainable, this sort of thing. And there we need science, right? We have, for example, companies that are figuring out how to 3D print meat. That means that meat will have zero carbon footprint. That would be amazing for the environment.
Is that possible?
Yes, they actually can already do it. It's just incredibly expensive. But that's what I mean. Like, there are so many of these small companies on the market that actually have the most amazing solutions to some of our biggest climate problems. And all they need is more investors and more time. So that's what I'm advocating for. I want to bring more of these startups into the light of the public eye. I want to explain how it works, and I have the ability to explain it because I'm in a field of science. And I hope that in making people understand the process a little bit better, they might be more likely to invest in the startups, and it might give the startups a better chance at actually succeeding and getting us somewhere.
Are you talking about technology startups?
Yes, exactly. So biotech is one of the fields of science that have a huge focus on the environment in particular, yes.
So, have you founded one?
Well, my father is on the board of a startup called Deep Branch, which actually uses a bacteria that we have not a bacteria, sorry, an enzyme that we have in the human body that converts CO2 to carbon dioxide, yes, to oxygen. And this bacteria is used to, get carbon dioxide from the atmosphere or from factories, collect it, and then convert it to
oxygen.
Yes.
Wow, it's my first time. Oh, I'm not, or probably I'm not just well read, but it's my first time to hear such. Yeah, a technology that can convert carbon dioxide to oxygen.
Yeah, so actually it's a very natural process. It occurs in our lungs when we breathe in oxygen, right?
Of course.
And in our body, we convert it to carbon dioxide and we exhale it. So in our body, we have this enzyme that converts oxygen to carbon dioxide. The thing about this enzyme is it can also do the opposite, convert carbon dioxide to oxygen. We just need to make it do the reverse process. And we can do that in a controlled environment, in a factory, stuff like this.
So how do you think can this enzyme be helpful to our environment?
Well, in Denmark, in Copenhagen, our capital, we have a ski slope, a
Yeah.
man-made ski slope. And this ski slope is also a waste. What's it called? It takes waste and it burns it to make energy.
Reincineration?
Yes. And doing that creates a lot of carbon dioxide, which is bad for our environment.
Yes.
Here, the Danish company Novozymes has a system that collects the carbon dioxide instead of releasing it out into the air. And within their system, they use the enzyme to convert it into oxygen, and then they release it into the air. So we can use the enzyme to collect the carbon dioxide before it's ever released into the air, straight from the factory, and convert it and clean it, and then release it.
It's my first time to hear such.
Yes.
It's my first time to hear such technology.
Yes, and it's
Yes.
not just possible, it's already a reality. Like they're already doing it at the ski slope in Copenhagen.
So when we talk about biotechnology, it involves solving problems using human technology.
Exactly, using science to solve the problem at its core. Like instead of figuring out, oh, how do we reduce carbon emissions, let's just figure out how to completely erase carbon emissions. That would be so much better, right, than just reduce it.
How come I've never heard of this when it comes to solving when we talk about climate change?
So that's the thing. Like when we talk about climate change, people are more focused on what are we doing wrong? Let's reduce that behavior. And they're not so focused on finding new solutions. And I really think in part it is because they're very scared of this new technology that they don't know. For example, we have the problem of clean energy, right? So the thing is, we could be using nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is completely clean energy. We have the means to produce electricity for the entire world with nuclear energy. But people are so scared.
Of course.
Understandably, because of nuclear weapons and the nuclear disasters we have had with nuclear energy in the past. The thing is, science has come such a long way. And the science tells us that it is safe to use nuclear energy, but people will never accept it because of their fear, which I understand. I think this fear is mirrored in a lot of the other solutions as well. So I really want to give people a better understanding so they might not be as scared and might be more open towards some of these new solutions.
You make it sound like biotechnology is the future of our environmental problems right now.
I always believe that science is the future, science is the answer. I certainly believe that's true.
How did you develop? It's amazing to see and hear women like her. Level up their love for science to a whole new level. I mean, you were just taking your medicine studies before, and then, wow, now You're now talking about biotechnology and how it can help, solve our problems
Yes.
about our environment in the near future. It's just how do you develop that kind of love for science? Because I cannot relate with you that much because when I was in high school I hate science.
Yeah.
All the four branches of science: biology, chemistry, especially physics. But you make it sound cool and fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's really like the way that it's approached early on in people's childhood. So when I was young, I was invited to join like extra classes outside of school, that were science focused. And we'd do really fun things. Like we would build our own robots. We'd get an egg and we had to figure out how can you drop an egg from a high height without it cracking. And that's using physics. How can I, by using physics, figure out how to save this egg? But it's also really fun for a kid to get a task like this. And because I had all of these fun science tasks when I was very young, I think that's probably what started my love for science. Now I find it all so fun.
And that love for science has led you to be in this pageant, Miss Earth.
Yes, it has.
So how do you find the whole pageant so far?
Well, it has been an incredible journey. It's definitely not what I expected. And I think if you ask any pageant girl, like, is she surprised by the experience? I think she would say yes. You really it's nobody can describe to you how overwhelming and inspiring it is to, meet women from all over the world, especially in Miss Earth, intelligent, passionate women from different cultures. Everyone speaks their own language. Everyone has their own advocacy, their own career, their own values. And to get to meet so many people at once is that's what I actually find the most amazing about Miss Earth. That we then come together and we do, for example, Eco Project. We come together from all different corners of the world and we create something together. And it must be the best of the best because we're all bringing the best from our countries.
Yeah.
And that's what's so amazing about it, right?
Yes. Yes. And so it's Miss Earth is really, is really more than just a beauty pageant. How I wish there will come a time when, pageants like Miss Earth will be recognized by United Nations and all these environmentally, led groups so that we could make more impact. You girls could make more impact
Yeah,
on our planet.
definitely. But I do think that Miss Earth is getting a lot of recognition. I mean, we have the highest number of delegates than any other pageant. And that's because, there are just more countries that recognize the value of Miss Earth compared to other pageants. And,
Yeah. Or in other words, relevant.
Yeah.
Other countries see the importance of a platform like Miss Earth to talk about the pressing environmental issues confronting our planet right now.
Yeah.
So, wow. What an enlightening interview I had with you. It's my first time to talk about biotechnology and how it could solve world problems right now. Yeah, so what's your hope? As my last question, what's your hope for our world when it comes to how we solve pressing environmental problems in the world, right?
So my hope is that the children, the young people of today continue to dream and continue to think up new ideas because they are the people who are going to solve all of our climate issues. It is our generation and the coming generations. We can't look back on the past generations and blame them for where we are today. We have to look to the future because the future is the answer. And I truly believe that it is going to be the scientists of the next generation that are going to have the answer. And we just need to support them and invest in them and give them the opportunity to show what they can do.
Maybe it's about time that all governments from around the world will pay more attention by investing more funds, allotting more funds from their respective budgets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To make necessary changes, revolutionary changes.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like environmental change, it costs money. Like you can't get around it. Money is the answer to almost everything.
The research involved alone takes a whole lot of time and effort.
Exactly.
Yeah, to be able to do all these breakthroughs and all these new inventions that can impact
Exactly
so many people's lives. So thank you so much again for this very enlightening chat with you about our environment. Wow, may your thriving increase, Sylvia. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to speak. I am very honored to be able to speak with you and your viewers. So
I should start befriending girls like her to make myself more intellectual and not just know about and not just focus too much on what pageantry is all about, but what pageantry could offer in terms of solving our world problems. Yes.
You're so sweet.
Oh, I'm so blessed to be able to get to know you in this pageant.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So there you go, guys. I hope you had fun tuning in. Not just fun, but you had a very wonderful time learning so much about biotechnology in solving environmental problems. God bless you guys. See you in my